Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Savannah J. Goins, and today I'm going to do the AuthorTube Newbie Tag. So Holly Davis tagged me in this like a million years ago, and I haven't been able to do it yet, so I'm going to do it today. And I started AuthorTube about in July last year, in July 2018, so I've been at it for less than a year, and I'm still pretty new to it. So here we go. Number one, how did you find out about AuthorTube? I actually found out about this through another writer on Instagram named Novelius Jordan. I love your name, Novelius. That's an awesome name. And he wrote The School of the Woven Way. And I found that book. I found his fan site and bought the book. And I chatted with him for a bit. And he told me about Jenna Moreci. And I looked her up and found a bunch of her videos. And then I found a whole bunch of more videos from there. So that's how I found out about AuthorTube. Number two is, what genres do you write in? So I write young adult fantasy, and so far all of my writing has been portal fantasy. My first one is just a young adult portal fantasy, and my next series is a young adult time travel fantasy. I did not plan to put portals in either of these, but I guess I'm such a Narnian by heart that I can't help but plan a little bit of portals in there. So number three, what is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category? So category would be young adult. And as far as my favorite writing tense, I really like past tense. Reading in present tense just kind of throws me off, so I don't like writing in it either. I prefer writing in past tense. That's my favorite. And point of view, my first book is written in first person, and right now my next series, so all of that series is written in first person. And my current other series, A Spiraling of Thunder, is written in third person, and I'm trying that out. I haven't officially decided on that, but it's unlikely that I'll be changing that. I think I'm going to keep it at third person. Are you a plotter, pantser, or plancer? I am definitely a plancer. I plotted what I thought was very extensively for this series right now, for A Spiraling of Thunder. I also plotted for the Guathinian series. I thought I learned a lot from that, and I did learn a lot of that from that, but the amount of things that I have changed and added in since writing the outline and the first draft of A Spiraling of Thunder, I've changed a lot. So I definitely have to have an outline, but I definitely change and add a lot of things as I go. So a planter through and through. Number five, are you self-published, traditionally published, or yet to be published? So I am self-published at this point, but I am aiming to also go for traditional publishing this year. I'm going to start querying in July or August for the Spiraling of Thunder, and I'm hoping to just try out both and see which one I like the most, and then I have the rest of my life to do either one or both as I feel like. So that's what I'm going for. And number six is, what publishing company, literary agent, or printing company are you represented by or use? So right now I use Ingram Spark. I have a video linked below on why I like Ingram Spark better than Amazon. Nothing against Amazon, just from comparing the Guathinian printed through both of them. Even though supposedly they use all the same printers, there was definitely a difference in the two. So I'm using Ingram Spark right now. And when I start querying, I'm not going to disclose yet who I'm going for, so I'm just going to leave that for now. Number seven, what AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? So I really like encouraging people and posting inspirational writing advice and writing tips. I also talk about other things outside of the actual writing process, such as how to write diverse characters and how to find the correct kind of people to interview in order to make those characters realistic. And I talk a lot about time management and things like that. If there's a particular topic you would like me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to address anything like that for you that I can. Number eight, when did you start writing? So my very first story was George the Galapagos Tortoise when I was 6 years old, and I wrote a story about a Galapagos tortoise egg getting kicked out of a nest, which right there is not accurate because their nests aren't above the ground, they're buried, but getting like, I also don't know whether they would float, but in this story, the egg floated all the way to the Komodo Islands, where there are Komodo dragons that were the bad guys, and I don't even know if those two islands are connected by water, but that was my first story, And I loved writing that story when I was very young. And then I started writing what led me to the Gwythynian when I was 14. And I piddled around with it every now and then seriously started pursuing it in 2015. And that was when I would say my real writing really started. I've been consistently writing and being involved in the community since October of 2015. Number 9, what was the first story you ever wrote? I kind of just answered that one. I didn't read these questions ahead of time. So, George the Galapagos tortoise, his egg floats from the Galapagos Islands to the Komodo Islands, and he hatches and he finds some lizard friends, and they were being chased by a Komodo dragon and a rattlesnake. And I don't remember what happened, but I had loads of fun writing it, and it will never be published. So there's that. And let's see, number 10, what authors have inspired your writing the most? I think I was first really inspired about fantasy through C.S. Lewis and the Chronicles of Narnia. I love his style of writing and just I just love his style. I just do. And then, of course, J.K. Rowling, who isn't inspired by her. And recently I read one of V.E. Schwab's books, and her prose is just so beautiful. And I've heard people raving about it, and I was, didn't really pay that much attention to it, but now that I have read her work, it is really beautiful. So I'm inspired by that for sure. That's definitely something that I would like to emulate. Number 11, do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you feel like it? So I don't get to writing whenever I feel like it. I have I don't want to say very strict, but a very intentional schedule set up, and I have specifically writing only writing time, not writing related time, but writing only time scheduled every morning from about 6:15 to 8 o'clock in the morning when I've already gotten to work, and I write in one of the study rooms at the university that I work at until I go in. So from the time I get there until I go in and actually clock in, I write that time. And 12 is, do you type on a computer, typewriter, or write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? So I don't have a typewriter. I think that's really cool, but I think the most efficient thing is just typing on a computer. So that's what I do. I take my computer with me everywhere. Anytime I have a spare moment, I usually have my computer out, sitting in my car, in a parking lot waiting between things or whatever. I almost always have my computer with me and I'm always typing. I do write by hand for some planning things and goals and just to keep track of things I want to remember. And I also write by hand when I write some poems. I'm not like a huge poet or anything, but each of the books in the Gwythynian series do have a little bit of poetry in them, just a smidge. And my upcoming book, A Spiraling of Thunder, also has a bit of poetry in it. I need to add more to it because one of the main characters expresses herself and helps her get through some difficult things by writing poetry and songs herself. So because she writes those, I have to write them for her. So I write those by hand. I actually can't write poetry on a computer. I can't type it out. It just doesn't work. I have to be usually walking around or sitting outside, and I just say a line or several lines over and over again until I find the right words that rhyme, and then I write those down by hand. And that's the only way that I can get poetry in. The last question is number 13, and that is, what are you most looking forward to now that you're a part of AuthorTube? I am just really excited to be part of this community. I'm looking forward to being able to help people with everything I've learned in the past few years since I've been writing seriously, and I'm also really looking forward to going on the Wonder Writers Retreat later this year, and getting to know some of my fellow AuthorTubers and getting to learn from them, because most of them have been on longer than me, so I'm really excited for that opportunity. And yeah, so those are all of the questions. There's all of my new AuthorTube stuff. If you have any other questions for me that you'd like me to answer, please just drop that in the comments below and I will answer that for you. And if you have any other writing related questions or anything you'd like me to do a video about, just let me know and I will add that to my list of things to make videos about. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up to support my channel, and most of my videos are writing tips videos and not most of them aren't tags. I do a few of those, but most of them are really helpful information that's about you guys and not about me. So So if you would like to receive all of those, just hit the subscribe button, and to be notified as soon as I post, ring the bell icon. And until next time, have fun making words happen, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.